before. Sorry.
No worries.
She's a counsellor, you're saying, as well?
Yeah, she got them qualifications.
Right. Oh, not counsellor as in political
No,
counsellor,
no.
you mean counselling, yeah.
Okay, so.
So what happens? Are we making a podcast, or are we watching a film first?
The film you're watching is the podcast. So everybody, you're always on camera. Right? Good. Okay, so. All right. So what's interesting here is that this particular podcast is what the loop is all about, right? As I explained to you earlier, that somebody's going to turn that on, and that is the podcast of the two different young groups that are talking about guns and the idea of, one, should they be banned? What do they feel about it? And is this gun activity that people are facing, is it the new normal, right? So at some point, we'll stop it or and everything, and I will ask you guys what your opinion. I ask you guys what your opinions are about the subject. Okay, so
So what was that? The three things you sort of set it up.
is
Should they be banned? Is this becoming the new normal? What was the second thing you said, Chase, that was very important?
that was 2 and 3. Those are just the two important.
Should they be banned? What do we think about it as individuals about this whole lot of stuff? Yeah.
Okay, so if you can turn it on. And we don't have speakers, so it might be a little hard to hear. No, keep it playing because the idea is I'm trying to get this to be the length of that.
Any chance of us doing it again? Because I didn't hear any of that, Chase. I'm sorry.
Take it back to the beginning there, Keith.
If you don't mind, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I got that, Keith. Just take it back to the beginning.
Try the beginning now.
Yeah, please. If you don't mind.
Right, yeah.
Thank you.
Can you see it?
Yes, yes.
Can you see it, Karen? Right? Can you see it?
I'm hearing about these shootings. I mean,
Feel no safe.
I don't know what you mean. But like the bigger but no, I mean no, because shootings happen here as well, though, don't they? So how did that so that was close by to you, so how did that feel?
That's staying still.
What happened today, huh?
About 7 o'clock.
Really?
And it was still there.
So I mean that must have kind of scary though, right? I mean, do you think that because there's so many shootings that we're becoming a little bit desensitized to it?
People saw us chase like to
Really?
If people be coming out carrying guns, thinking it's okay to pull them
What do you mean, like?
in daytime hours and nighttime hours.
You know, it's not okay. I mean,
Yeah. Yeah. that? James Corden?
See what?
James Corden, when he was talking about banning guns.
Yeah.
Everybody see that?
James Corden? No.
James Corden.
No, I
English
didn't.
guy, but he has an American show.
Right, yeah,
And
yeah.
he was talking about banning guns because Britain did it, China does it, Australia.
Then if a student becomes
Two pauses now.
or aggressive in class.
No, but you can talk over it. That's what I'm trying to say. Just like they're doing. It's like you're reacting to various different things that they said.
Yeah.
Disabilities and ADHD, something like that. And like
I think it's the last time anyway.
I know it's not easy for kids who's expelled to come into school, and it's easy for a kid to get angry at a teacher.
And take it up to where the teacher has it,
We
yeah.
can't really normalize in a school to go streets. Yes, like I remember watching the Kardashians. I don't care about what you think about the Kardashians, but it was after the attack in France, you know, where kid got held at gunpoint.
Yeah.
And the two little sisters wanted to have a gun in the house to protect themselves. And Kim went off on them and she was like, well, I don't want my kids to think that having a gun should be normalised and everyone should have a gun.
So it brings us back to, again, about the topic of the new normal and stuff. Then you can pause it.
Yeah, no,
I
mean, because
Yeah.
now, what's important about
Because as I just said, this is what the loop is all about there. You know, like, so, I'm glad, thank you very much, Keith, for pulling out the sound box and everything, so that way we all can hear it and everything. Because I guess I was just thinking about the edit, that I would be able to hear it when I put the edit on. But it's good that you guys were able to hear that. So what are your initial reactions to it? I mean, this is what other groups are doing, for one, right? And this is a socially relevant topic. And it's an important one, I would assume, to not just being people of your generation, but also being in a whole different area. So what is your initial reactions to it?
It's an interesting discussion.
Myself, what struck me about it is the fact that you were able, it was like a film within a film within a film, and I really liked that image. That I didn't realise what was going on at first, and then when you pulled back and stood in front of it, I thought, yeah, that's pretty cool. That because you saw the reactions of the kids going like that in silence while you was focusing on the original one. Yeah, I quite like that.
But topic-wise, what you think about, is it a subject that people of all ages should be discussing?
Yes.
Yeah, it's very.
I don't think so.
You don't think they should be discussing it?
No, I think I'm too young to be.
Interesting. Why do you think they're too young to be discussing guns? And
Because it's violence.
It is.
People are dying.
But isn't it true?
It's true, but at that age you shouldn't be exposed to that kind of thing.
You are definitely right. But what did those first kids say?
Well,
Yeah.
didn't it highlight the fact that there's been a shooting in Toxteth?
In their area.
In their area.
So those kids are in a youth club, right? That they had this class in. And when the shooting happened in their own area, because what did the younger brothers say? They were the brothers. The younger brothers said, when I asked them, what?
They said it's
No, yeah, they did. But what I meant was, what first he said was, because we were talking about the Florida shooting, doesn't matter to me, it's all the way over there.
Yeah.
Then that's when I said, didn't one happen here? Oh yeah, that's right. And then they said, actually, we had to be sheltered within this youth club on that day. I said day, it was in the daytime. So it wasn't like some dark street at night where they should be at home anyway. These kids are in a youth club. A shooting goes on in their area. Thankfully, the youth club is there to protect them, right? But they should be talking about this though, Karen, because the point is, the more you put your head in the sand, the more you try to hide from it, it's not going to make it go away. Same thing about this course around social media. This course happens in schools now because the teachers realize that, look, we always tell kids you can't go on YouTube, you can't get away from social media, it's like it's the dark web, boom. And I'm like, the more you hide and keep it away from kids, the more they will find it.
Yes, of course they will.
And I think the other thing is the great danger of young people being drawn into gangs, particularly young men.
Yeah.
And that's a big issue in like a lot of places, particularly big cities like Liverpool and Manchester. My only slight problem with it is that I found the sound quality, maybe that can be tweaked. I can't hear very well, and I didn't pick
It's coming to us a stereo device.
I thought it was a bit of a shame also that the boys, the Coca boys, is that their surname?
Yeah.
They are like in the picture, but they're frozen out of the debate. Because was there a debate between the two?
No, there
groups?
wasn't. They
Oh,
made
okay.
they made their podcast,
Okay, fine.
and then I showed their podcast to the
Okay.
girls at Archbishop
And then,
Branch.
and then the other problem for me was that one of the girls started to make a quite cogent point, and she seemed to get shut down by the teacher, who's out of shot and you can't see. And for a young person's group, again, I think this is something. Having been a teacher myself, I think teachers want to just jump in,
Yeah.
and they sometimes smother the ingenuity,
Yes.
the creativity of young
Yeah.
people. So I think the teacher should have learned to like zip it. And a great shame is you really do moderate it wonderfully well, give some good things, but we can't see you. We can see your torso, but we can't see your head.
Yeah.
And I think that's really important to see you.
No, so I
Yeah.
totally hear you. Let me
Yeah.
just, in defense of that teacher, is it's like, this is a whole new idea for teachers,
Yeah.
Yeah.
especially at this school. And she was totally enamored, as I was, and this is like their fourth class.
Yeah.
And that's where their confidence comes from, right? But then also too is she wants to jump in all the time because she's really engaged. So yeah, she did jump in, but at least she was saying something as opposed to adhering to something,
A teacher-
which is what teachers tend to do.
And teachers shouldn't be engaging in that sort of thing. When it comes to like politics, a teacher shouldn't turn around and say, I think you should vote Labour, etc. It should be down to the individual to make their own decision based on their own information and to
Right.
find out.
Yeah, but what she wasn't telling anybody.
But she was.
No, but she led the debate, didn't she?
She led up the
Well,
debate,
she
but she
jumped in
did.
the debate.
But she did mention something about. But I think it's wrong about teachers having gone. Shouldn't.
So she shouldn't have an opinion about that.
Shouldn't have an
You got to remember, this happened the day after Trump went online,
Yeah.
right, and said that an erroneous main comment about that. You know what I'm thinking, guys? And he was really working it out in his head. I think we should give teachers guns. Matter of fact, I think we should get them trained, and we should have trained professionals go in with guns and turn them into teachers. What do you guys think? And it was like dead silence.
Yeah. Wait a minute. What's wrong with that?
What's wrong with that?
Yeah. What's wrong with
What's
that?
wrong with, wait. Oh, now we're in a debate. What's wrong with what teachers having guns?
What's wrong with teachers defending themselves?
Oh my God, okay.
About situations?
Oh, wait. I have to, wait. Let me pull up a chair.
Surely this is going to be part of our podcast for us.
It is, I'm sorry. Okay, yeah, all right. I'm glad he brought that up. But let me explain to you, right? I showed this to my other group, right? The adult women I told you about. Know what they told me? I showed them that on a last Thursday. The day before, there was a thing where a teacher did do what Trump said. A teacher went into the school. I think it was, I don't know if it was Bolton or whatever. Don't quote me. Went to the school with their gun, started firing. Girl had to jump out the window. That's what's wrong with it. That's what's wrong with it. I can't believe you just said that. Hopefully you said that for the sake of the debate. But that's what's wrong with it. You do not give teachers the opportunity, because the president told them to take a gun into school. You don't.
Chase,
No, I'm.
Let them defend that. Rebuttal, please.
Wait. I'm all for. I'm 100% for against guns in America, but I do think it's a certain thing where America will never change their Second Amendment of the right to bear arms.
That's the Fourth Amendment.
The Fourth Amendment of the right to bear arms. So in a way, shouldn't it be the right that a teacher should have a gun in terms of defending themselves against these lunatics to come
Defend themselves against 11, 14-year-olds
but
who may be
to
rascals.
protect their students?
Okay, Mark, you want to say something?
Well,
Go ahead.
yeah, I want to say a lot of things, and I'm sure everybody here does. But Chase, I got confused. I didn't realise we'd already started our podcast. Are we in?
We're in it, man. You're in it. We started talking.
First and foremost, I think we should sort of say who we are, because it's great to see these people, these young people from the school and the young guys from the youth club, and I think they made a great contribution to that debate, which we can hopefully add to. But yeah, I mean, it's a massive issue, and we touched on.
But what's your opinion on it, though, man? Because I mean, nobody got the chances because we're a community. So, what is your opinion?
Well, my opinion is...
Because I think Jamie brought up a great thing, and guess what, Jamie? You did it so confidently. Trust me, I love you, right?
Yeah.
I disagree, but I love you.
Okay.
Boom. What is your opinion?
I think your opinion, Chase, is exactly the same as mine. I think
Okay.
it just, you know, unfortunately, these whole range of shootings that we've seen, ranging from the Vegas shooting in the stadium last year, you know, Columbine, it is becoming a weekly occurrence in America. You know, we only seem to hear about the high-profile ones where there are great numbers of people losing life, and it does surely point up the madness of guns in America, and the madness of these people in the National Rifle Association coming out and saying things such as
Just to
"Let's
protect
arm
your
teachers,"
organization,
such that you then get, you know, the head of your government, the President of the United States, coming out with this crazy suggestion, let's just give guns to teachers, as if they haven't got enough to do, as if that's ever going to cure a problem of the violence on the streets in the cities of America, and unfortunately in the schools.
Imagine if the teacher though had a bad day. And then,
Yeah, exactly.
and then the pupil, say could be 15, could be saying, I'm going to do this here, and he's got a gun in his thing, and he's thinking, I've had enough of this, bang. That could happen.
But unfortunately, I think it does actually, you know, in lots of ways, like the young man the Coker brothers said, and I think they spoke really well, it isn't anything to do with me. I do think that the way that this is handled by the media, and I don't know if folks agree with this and want to come in on this point, but I think we're all getting conditioned and normalised to the violence and mayhem. And, you know, arguably the American film industry has got something to do with this.
Yeah, I know. We
So-
love our action movies, don't we?
So we love the action movies, the Rambos, the whatever. America, you know, wins the day.
No, America's the
Grand Theft Auto.
To me, America's the big fault of all this. Is because the fact that America has the right for young kids